Kick right in front of the goal, and it's in.
Second, cuts to his forward, take the shot, he scores!
Number 13, senior Sean Solomon. And number 24, senior Sean Warner. And the games are coached by head coach Steve Squatter and assisted by Chuck Harris. And now, please rise and gentlemen, remove your hats as we honor American War servicemen and women with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, the anthem will be sung by Peters Township senior Lindsay Turek.
Good evening, everyone. I am Brooke Hazard, and I will be announcing for this boys varsity volleyball game. It's a home game for Peters Township Indians, and we're playing against the Bethel Blackhawks. Bethel Park, I could be mistaken with my resources, but I believe they've gone undefeated, so this may be a very tough matchup for the Peters Township boys. I believe Peters Township will be starting with the ball. Sean Sullivan will be serving. And his serve is over. Matt Kirsch tried to spike the ball and save it and get the first point of the game for Peters, but his spike was a little too powerful and went out of bounds. Number 4 for Bethel Park was short on his serve. And Alex Poole spiked the ball and managed to get that over the net and past the blockers. Sam Kleistek just blocked that spike from Bethel Park. I don't believe I've said who was serving, but that was Sean Warner. Sam Kleistek missed the block, so the ball is going to Bethel Park with Kevin Kerr serving, and Alex Poole spiked the ball over. Sean Sullivan just got the ball over for Peters, and he just tried to save the ball, but he couldn't get it after I missed the number for who got that spike for Bethel Park. Poole spiked his out of bounds. It was a nice spike nonetheless. Kerr for Bethel Park is still serving, and Kleistek missed the spiker tip-off that he was going to do as he hesitated. Kleistek goes for the spike, and the ball hit one of the Bethel Park players and went out of bounds on their side, giving Peters the ball, and Brian Sullivan is serving. The ball was just blocked again, but Bethel Park's keeping it up. And Poole spikes the ball and keeps it on their side. Brian Sullivan's serve was almost short, but it managed to stay in, and Bear blocked that first spike. Peters got the ball over and got the point. Brian Sullivan's serve was just out of bounds. Looks like one of the Bethel Park players didn't quite know whose point it was and gave the ball to Peters, but Peters, being honest, sent the ball back. Bear got the spike over, and the Bethel Park block didn't quite make it. Alex Poole is serving, but his serve just went right out of bounds. Mason Bassard was the one who was serving for Bethel Park. He just walked off the court. Carson Kramer will be serving. Looks like there needed to be an adjustment on the net. Kramer's serve was good. And that spike was blocked. Alex Kramer saves the ball. Brian Sullivan pretty much hopped on top of Kramer there. The ball sadly didn't go over for Peters, and the point was given to Bethel Park. Joshua Sprandel is serving. Kramer saves the ball after Pule did a poor set. Jackson Baines scored a nice spike, a nice point for Bethel Park. Pule tipped the ball over, and Bethel Park couldn't quite keep the ball up like they have been doing. Bear is serving for Peters. And Baines spiked a little too, his spike was a little too powerful and went out of bounds. Bear's serve was almost short. And Sean Sullivan tried to set the ball over the net, but couldn't quite get the ball there. It looks like Baines for Bethel Park is serving. Matt Kirsch spiked just out of bounds, giving the point to Bethel Park. And Kirsch spiked the ball inside this time. Giving the point to Peters, and Sean Sullivan will be serving. His serve was just out of bounds. Bethel Park will be serving with number 4. Bear tried to bump it over the net, but went a little too high and hit the other net. Number 4 serve was nice and powerful. Kirsch tried to set the ball, but could not. His serve was in and seemed to scare the Peters players just a bit. Peters Township just called a timeout for 1 minute. The score for this set is 11-15 with Bethel Park in the lead. I'm liking the game so far. It's been really good. Bethel Park has been really great at keeping the ball up and recovering it very well. And they have been pretty consistent all around. Peters has been pretty consistent. They've obviously had a little more mishaps, but they're pretty close. There's only a 4-point lead for Bethel Park. As the set continues, Bethel Park still has the ball. And this time, number 4's serve is out of bounds. Warner is serving for Peters Township. And the spike for Bethel almost made it over, and Kirsch tried to get the ball over, but the Bethel Park block was strong enough to bounce the ball back in. I guess that's what it did. Alex Pule tips the ball over, but they still manage to recover nicely. Where when we try to recover, we spin the ball to the corner of the gymnasium. Alex Pule is going for the spike. And Bethel Park still manages to recover the ball. Sean Sullivan just tried to spike the ball, but his spike didn't go up, it went down. Kerr is serving for Bethel Park. I don't believe I've said that. Peters just got the ball from a spike that was inbounds. Brian Sullivan will be serving for Peters. And Christek just blocked their spike. Kramer just tried to save the ball but slid across the ground. I believe that was 27 who spiked for Bethel Park. If it's 27, it's Sprandel. Pule spikes the ball. And Baines spiked the ball and managed to get the point for that one. Brian tried to set the ball, but the ball was a little too low to begin with. It was a nice attempt, though. Brian bumps the ball up, and Pule spiked the ball inside as the Bethel Park players thought it was going to be out. But I think they have a little leadway. They are in the lead, so I think they can do that every now and then. Bear blocked their spike over and got the point for Peters. Alex Pule is serving. And Sprandel just tried to shot. Bethel got that point for a nice block against one of our spikes. Mason Bassard is serving. Pule gets the ball, and Sean Sullivan gets the ball over. Kramer gets the ball to Bear, who gets the ball over, and the ball goes to Peters. Kramer is serving for Peters. And Sprandel's spike, got the point for Bethel Park, and looks like he will be serving as well. Brian got the ball there. And Warner spiked the ball over. Bear is serving for Peters. Bethel Park's spike just went out of bounds, giving Bear another shot at serving, but his serve is just out of bounds. I wouldn't say a little out of bounds because that was pretty far. Baines is serving for Bethel. And Warner, it's just Sean Sullivan gets the ball over. Bear gets the ball. Pule spikes it. Bethel still keeps it up. And Kramer saves the ball. This is a stressful set. And the ball is... Peters managed to lose that ball there. It was a very good volley between both teams on that last play. And Bethel kept it up every time, no matter how difficult it is. And Peters did a great job with that set too. Looks like Bethel won for the first one. For this next set, I hope Peters will win, but seeing how Bethel played last one, I'm not sure if they will. They played very close, very nice the last set, and Bethel definitely has deserved that undefeated title they hold right now. And Bethel is starting off with the ball with Boff serving. Kramer gets the ball. As to where Kirsch spikes it over, and number 5 for Bethel spike, and Kirsch spiked on the line, I believe, and Sean Sullivan will be serving for Peters. Baines tried to save the ball, but it must have slipped. Boff saves the ball, and my, Bessard does a crazy spike and got the point for Bethel. And Warner spikes the ball. The point goes to Bethel for maybe touching the net or maybe touching the ball again. Boff saves it, and Bessard spikes the ball. Sean Sullivan tried to save it, but the spike was too powerful. Cooley is serving for Bethel. And Pule spikes it, and it's out off of Bethel, giving the point to Peters and having Brian Sullivan serve. Cooley saved the ball, and Sprandl spiked the ball what looked to be almost straight down. And Bessard is serving for Bethel. And Bear tried to spike the ball, but the block from Bethel blocked it. Pule spikes the ball and keeps it in, giving them a chance. And Sprandl spike goes to the back edge, which probably made Peters think it was going to be out of bounds. Tyler Simpson spikes. Bethel Park spikes are insane, crazy insane. I am baffled by it. Bassard's serve was just out of bounds, having Alex Puel serve, and it was in. And Simpson had an insanely nice spike, giving them the point. And Sprandel will be serving. And Chrislet and Bear spikes it over, or tips it over. I think that was a tip over. Kramer for Peters is now serving. Boff gets it, and Simpson's spike was blocked. I'm impressed by that because his spikes seem to go straight down. Warner, oh my, Bethel just keeps having the ball up. Looks like there was a double touch from Peters, I think. And Baines is serving for Bethel. Sean Sullivan tried to tip the ball over, but Simpson went to spike the ball, and Simpson's hand won. Bear gets the ball over for that one. And Austin Cortopazzi, his spike was out of bounds. Bear is serving for Peters. Kirsch hesitated to set the ball up as he thought it was going to be out of bounds, but it was just inbounds. Boff is serving for Bethel. Kramer spikes it. It looks like Mason Bassard tried to spike the ball, but it was blocked by the net. I couldn't really tell. Anyways, the ball didn't go over. And Peters has the ball, and Sean Sullivan is serving. Cortopazzi spiked the ball and got the point for his team as Kerr is serving. Kramer saves it. That was confusing to watch. Cortopazzi tried to spike, but looks like it went into the net. Peters has the ball with Warner serving. And Sprandel's spike was blocked. It sounded painful to block that, though. Cortopazzi gets the ball, and Bassard spikes it over. Cooley is serving for Bethel. And Chrislet went to spike the ball, but it was out of bounds. Cooley is still serving. And Pule went to spike, but it was blocked by Bassard and Polly. Kerr saved that ball, and Sprandl spiked the ball, and Peters could not save it. A timeout was called by, I believe it would be Peters, but I could be mistaken by that. At this timeout, we're at the same score, 11-15, as we were with the last timeout for the last set. A 4-point lead for Bethel, which is what I expect. They are doing amazing, keeping the ball up and keep recovering. Peters is still doing good, but just not as good. They really kept it neck and neck in the beginning, and now it's sort of getting that lead area. And Christek got the ball over after Polly tried to set the ball up, but couldn't quite make it. Brian Sullivan is serving. Bassard spiked that ball and right down the block. And he's also serving for Bethel. Pule spikes the ball out of bounds. He seems to not know his own strength, if you ask me. Chrislet, there's a double touch, and the ball goes to Bethel. Still. Pule spikes out of bounds yet again. I expect him to spike out of bounds because his height seems a little unproportionate to the court. Chrislet spiked and got the ball in. It looked like a little shock, as it seemed like Alex Pule thought he was going to be spiking. Alex Pule is serving, and Sprandl spikes it over. And Bear tried to spike it, but it hit the block, and Kramer tried to slide across the ground, but could not, sadly. Sprandl is serving for Bethel. His serve just went and almost hit the ref. And Kramer is serving for Peters. Looks like Polly got that spike. I think that's the first time I've seen him get the ball over. And the ball just could not be saved. Baines is serving for Bethel. Pule saves it. And Warner gets the spike. Peters gets the point and the ball. Sean Sullivan gets the ball there, and Kirsch tried to get over. Man, Their blocks are on point tonight. Oh my. I believe that was Simpson who spiked that ball. Boff is serving for Bethel. And Kirsch spiked just out of bounds. If someone wasn't paying attention, it would have looked like it was inbounds or on the line. Kirsch. There was a double touch, and Boff is still serving. And the ball gets back over. Kirsch sets that one, and Sean Sullivan gets the ball over. And Warner blocks that spike, giving the point to Peters. Sean Sullivan is serving. His serve was short, giving the set to Bethel Park as they win this set. But they deserved to win this set. It was very good. They were very on point and consistent every time. And Peters was just a little more inconsistent. This set starts. I hope it'll be a fresh little set. And Peters won't get in their head. And they will win the set to give more of how this. Well, the point goes to Bethel off of a failed block. Boff is now serving. But as I was saying, I want the score to be not a 3-0 win for Bethel or a 0-3 loss for Peters, because I want to show how it played out, how it felt on the court. Well, Boff's serve was short, as you guys saw, and Kramer is now serving, and it was not short. And Cortopazzi spiked, just on the line, or maybe in. Kerr is serving. Kramer saves the ball. Sean Sullivan gets the ball over. Looks like Cortopazzi tried to get the ball. He still got the point for his team, just didn't get over. I believe that was Kirsch who tried to set the ball, but it was a little too low for any of the players to get. Kirsch gets the ball off of Kerr, I believe. And Brandel spikes, and Puel saves it. And Cortopazzi spiked the ball, which was out, and Bear almost touched the ball, giving the point to Bethel, but he did not. And I think that was an accident, but it was a good accident. Brian Sullivan is now serving. Kramer tried to save the ball, same with Sean Sullivan, but they could not save it. Cooley is serving for Bethel. And Cristolette got the ball over. Kramer saves it. And Bear gets it over and gets the point as Cooley tried to save the ball but couldn't get it off the ground. Puel is serving. And it was in. Surprising. Brian just caught the spike from Bethel just all merged together, so I couldn't really tell who was the spiker. My bad. And wow. The ball was saved by number 18, who's not on the roster, sorry. Crystalette. Klistek. Maybe I've been saying his name wrong. Oh well, I've already butchered it too many times. He served, a nice serve, but could not save the ball. Sprandl is serving. And Warner spikes the ball out of bounds. Sprandl's serve is good. Kramer saves it. And Bear spikes it. And they tip. The ball was out of bounds. Sprandl is still serving. I don't need to keep announcing that. Warner tried to spike it, but the block was stronger than the spike. This set may be an easy win for Bethel. Kramer gets it over. And Warner blocks the ball from two vicious spikes from Polly, but Peters could not keep that standard up. The point goes to Bethel. Warner tips the ball off and they got it up. That was shocking. The ball goes to Peters. I am really confused about what just happened. My mind just played some tricks on me, if I do say so myself. Bear is serving for Peters. The ball goes to Bethel for a reason that I was not paying attention to. My bad, guys. And Baines is serving for Bethel. And Kirsch tried to spike it. And Kirsch is going to spike it again. And it... Oh, 18 looked like he was going to save it. But ran into the pole or slipped. Maybe a little mix of both. Kirsch's spike went straight down instead of up. But that's okay. We all make mistakes. Renz just subbed in for him. And Renz spikes it and gets it over. And Cordopazi's spike was blocked. Sean Sullivan's serving for Peters. And Boff gets it over. And Pule spikes it. Oh my, that was saved. And he spikes it again, and it's over. Okay. I can have a little breathing room. Now I don't. Okay. Sean Sullivan. It was a double touch, and Bethel gets the point and the ball with Boff serving. Oh my, Kramer saved that. Warner didn't even want to try. He didn't want to run into the crowd. I mean, I wouldn't either, but... Boff's serve was out of bounds. Looked like Bear had to crouch down to the ground to not hit it. Kramer is serving for Peters, and his serve was short. I'm not used to seeing that from him. Kerr is serving for Bethel. And Kostek spike was invalid. The point goes to Bethel. Pule went to tip it over, and he's going to go spike it, and it's over. Good job. Sprandl's spike was out of bounds. Kramer tried to slide to get it just in case it was in, but it was out, thank goodness. Brian Sullivan is now serving. And his serve was not very good. It was short. And even if it wasn't short, the angle would have put it out of bounds. Cooley is serving for Bethel, which is out, and it hits the JV line judge. They aren't guarding the lines, they're judging the lines, but that's okay. Pule is serving. And Buzzard, man, all of these last names for Bethel I am butchering, and I know it. Buzzard is serving, and it was out. I feel like they're doing that on purpose so Peters may have a better chance, as they have a 11-point lead. 11 points. Now 12 points. Kostek, I think, is out of the game for the rest. Sprandl is serving for Bethel. Bear is getting it, and Sean Sullivan gets the ball over. And they tried to save the tip, but they couldn't. Sean Sullivan tried to get the ball, but it was a no-go. Sprandl's serve was almost short, but it seemed to bounce on top of the net and came over right in front of the net. I don't think that was fair, but it's within the rules. And Peters messed up that one. Again, that concludes this game. I'm going to say this. Bethel did amazing. Peters did not do so well, especially in this last set where Bethel won 25-10. This last set, I don't know what happened with Peters, but they seemed to have like a breakdown there. But it was very good for the first two sets. I really like the volleying back and forth, and Bethel deserves this undefeated title as of right now. They managed to save the ball no matter what, no matter who or how the ball is spiked or bumped over. They still managed to get it up and over. I'm very proud of them. They're great, and I hope to see them later. Thank you so much for viewing. Have a fantastic night. Again, I'm Brooke Hazard, and have a fantastic evening.